Hello from Evergems Farms. After the weekend's snow, it's all melting off now. This is Wednesday after those storms, where most of it melted last 2 days. But I decided to come out and look, see how the water's trailing, which most of it seems to be soaking into the ground from me walking out here along the edge there. As you can tell, no one's drove out this way much because no one really does much except for the neighbors here if they do. But since the company over here built a trail here, they go in and out there. But they're mainly repairing that old trailer there. No one actually lives there right now. Otherwise, just noticed a lot of either dogs or coyote tracks mainly out here today along this trail. And then up in my driveway, it took me a minute, I thought it was rabbit tracks, but I think these are more the rabbit tracks because the other ones, as I got to looking at them, were actually quail tracks, which is kind of interesting. But yeah, we had almost 3 inches of snow out here, and still taking a few days to clear up here. But yeah, it's all melting pretty nice. Maybe a day or two, and maybe even today, who knows. All of it would be melted. Compared to town and stuff, you see streams of water everywhere, but here, I think it's just since it's been so dry out here, it's just really soaking in for the most part, except for some of it around my house because the drainage product I put at the house is nice and full, or no, getting there anyway. And other than that, I'm just kind of walking around. Crazy me, sitting here, no jacket in 45-degree weather in the snow. But with the sun, the sun on me, it actually feels pretty good. But I could hear quail off over there. They brought some more branches and stuff out for me. I need to move them again. See if there's any actual water in this. Nope, not yet. Nope. This is part of the drainage ditch to try to keep most of the water off the yard or off of my driveway, which is right up here. Another stack of wood there. And speaking of which, looks like I'll be helping the guys chop the trees and move them around too till I get an actual job again, so I could get some money. Things were getting to the end of what I had saved up. Wasn't expecting 6 months off, but every time I put in applications, they either bypass me or send me in for an interview, and then I see the job back up on the boards for positions still open. So either the places are just putting them up, bringing people in and redoing the job positions, or something. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, here's some of the quail tracks right there. A couple of them. And then it's kind of weird. I'm guessing whatever dog or whatever was on tire tracks. Got erased by our driving on it. Be neat to actually see some animals out. I could hear one. I don't know if y'all be able to hear it, but anyway, yeah, here's look like a heavy traffic for a lot of them. It's kind of interesting. Yeah, some of the brush piles that I've been making, I guess they're coming back and forth from that, plus all that out there. I could hear them, but I don't see them. Anyway, yeah. Now, that whole drainage plunge from the north of it, along here, going too fast, along there, up around there, up there, and then it comes right about here to go, but to stops right there, and then it'll drain there to one of the basins that I've got right here, which I'll show you here in a second. See if it's even got melt, because this was 3 inches of snow melted, but like I say, I'm not seeing any actual streams going, so it's like mostly soaking in, which is a good thing. That's why I like snow rather than rain for the slow melt, but if it's a fast melt and causes streams, that's a different story. But here, as you can tell, it's getting slushy, but no actual puddles out here. Let me go. Oh, a lot more quail tracks here. They're all over the place. Ooh, sun went behind clouds and it's actually getting chilly now. I'm almost home, so don't worry about me freezing to death. Anyway, but yeah, usually this is from up there, it comes here, makes a big puddle here. Eventually one day, where that flag is, that flag there, I've got a trail, another spot for a contour line digging to bring water from that way over here to help fill this up too, instead of all the water going off into the draw. And as you can tell, more birds here. Here's the other basin where it'll puddle up here, then it comes right here, drains off into this area here first. There's, ever since then, all this vegetation grows up wild. I need to trim it down again. Then once it fills that little sector up, it'll overspill and fill this big one up here, which, ooh, don't slide in this. As you can tell, I'm starting to go really down. I'm just trying to see if there's any water down here yet, or if it's just soaking into the sides here. Ouch. Little finch. No, that's a sparrow, white crested sparrow. Thought it was the finch, but it doesn't look like there's anything down there. I'm not getting through all that tumbleweed mess. Probably pull it out or set fire to it later. But yeah, it looks like it's all going into it pretty well. I don't know what. Looks like feathers being taken off. I wonder if quails do that naturally or if something ate one there. Who knows? Who knows? But I know it's quail going down there because of the trails. Yeah, I'm ready for it to warm up to do some stuff again, but also looking for something to do to get money because I'm almost out. Anyway, I'm at the end and don't have much to say, but anyway, right here is another spot where I've got where the water comes down here to fill up this. Once that's filled up and the water coming from the driveway that keeps coming, it'll come out right there, hit this bump here, go down into all of this area, which since there's no actual water, might as well walk into it. It'll fill up sometimes up to around here. And it's only knee deep on me, so about 2.5 feet. But then fills up all this area. Once all of this gets filled up with the moisture and stuff, it ends up going out right over there, which I'll walk out here with. But one day I'd like to get this dug out a little deeper, but I need a bigger equipment or something to rip. As you can tell, all the caliche that's here, rock, it's just solid rock pretty much down past all that, so couldn't really get too much deeper, even though I did have a big excavator to do all this dirt work anyway. That's all around it to kind of build it up. I need to quit spinning too fast on you. I just realized I keep doing that. But yeah. As far as that seating area, let's look at that, see if that's even filling up. Yeah, used to. Water would sit all around here, up to here, and then sit all the way across here, up in this area after big rains and stuff. So that's why I ended up digging the dirt out here to go down there for the drainage pond. As you can kind of see, looks like there might be water in it, or up to here, because somewhere water is melting enough to fill this thing up. So it's about half full. The area I'm grabbing all the dirt from is back over here, and all I'm really doing is just right now just digging it down to the hard dirt, in which probably in the next few days I could just dig this out softly a little bit more until I'm down to the caliche, which isn't much more than where the hard dirt is. Anyway, this is almost 15 minutes, so I'm going to call it a day here, and I'll talk to you later. One spin.